How's it going, everyone? This is the George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Inside Out 2. Nearly 10 years after the first Inside Out, we finally got a sequel to what I consider to be the best Pixar movie in the last decade, the best Pixar movie to come out since Toy Story 3. And this time, this movie is directed by Kelsey Mann and stars Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Lewis Black, Maya Hawke, and in this movie, Riley is now 13 years old. She's getting ready to go to high school, and she's going to this hockey camp with her friends to try and impress this high school hockey coach that is running the camp. And joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear are getting ready to handle the next stage in Riley's life. But some new emotions come along, and one of them is anxiety, who is trying to do what she feels is best for Riley. And so our original crew are on an adventure to get back to headquarters and try and stop anxiety from changing Riley for the worst, even though anxiety has good intentions but is very misguided. So, as I said, not just right before and in my previous Inside Out review, Inside Out is one of the best Pixar movies to come out in the last 10 years, in my opinion. The best to come out since Toy Story 3. And it's also the one that I feel like makes the most sense to have a sequel to. And so when I heard they were doing Inside Out 2, I was actually excited for this one. I know a lot of people aren't huge on Pixar sequels majority of the time, but I'm going to be honest. I like most of the Pixar sequels that we've gotten. I like Toy Story 2, 3, and even 4. I know some people have their problems with 4, but I do like Toy Story 4 a lot. I like Incredibles 2 a lot. I know some people have problems with that movie, but I like it a lot. I like Finding Dory. Even though it was a prequel, I like Monsters University. The only one I really had an issue with was Cars 2. But besides that, I've liked the Pixar sequels. There's only been a couple I would say I would love. Toy Story 2, in my opinion, is the best Pixar sequel we've gotten. And since Soul came out in 2020, which is a phenomenal Pixar movie, we've gotten good but not great Pixar movies, it felt like. Not to say that they were bad, because I don't think they were bad. I thought they were pretty good animated movies, but none of them really stood out like Inside Out and Soul and Coco had stood out. So going into this, I was wondering what can be expected with Inside Out 2, because the premise is there, but can you execute it? Especially because it's a new director handling it. And Inside Out 2 works very well. To me, this is probably my second favorite Pixar sequel after Toy Story 2. In my opinion, I think it might be the second best Pixar sequel after Toy Story 2. What Inside Out 2 does reminds me of how the Toy Story sequels handle themselves, which to me are still the other best Pixar sequels. Actually, no, Toy Story 3 is still the best Pixar sequel. I keep forgetting Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, and then Inside Out 2. To me, those are the top three. But yes, this is definitely one of the best Pixar sequels, Inside Out 2. But yeah, back to where I was getting before I went off track. Inside Out 2 follows the trajectory of the Toy Story sequels, where the main human character is growing up, and with that, instead of toys, it's the emotions that are trying to adjust to that. And with that adjustment comes some new characters. So there is quite a similarity to the first Toy Story movie, where a new character or new characters come in and change things up. And with these new characters, they basically capture the emotions you feel as you get older. Primarily the anxiety character, because as adults, and even when we were teenagers growing into adults, we deal with a lot of anxiety. I've had my anxiety moments, and that's basically how this new character is handled. She wants what's best for Riley, but while doing so is making Riley a lot more anxious and turning Riley into somebody that she is not. You also have other new characters like the embarrassment emotion character, Envy, as a character. So you have these new emotions, and there's even like a reference. This is like a minor spoiler to like how as you get older, maybe you start to feel less joy, or and you start to feel more anxiety. And that's the beauty of these Inside Out movies, is that there are themes in these movies that adults are going to resonate with, but at the same time, while you have those serious, makes you think about moments, you also have the funny moments, because this is also a funny movie. Like the first Inside Out, you have the funny moments that kids are going to enjoy. It's also another colorful, well animated Pixar movie. While Michael Giacchino does not do the score for this movie, the score is still handled very well. The voice acting is still great as always. Amy Poehler as Joy does a great job. Um, Phyllis Smith as Sadness still does a very good job. The other actor that returns that play one of the emotions, Lewis Black, does a very good job. Anger does a lot more in this movie. Now you also see a lot more from Fear and Disgust in this movie as well. So you get to see them more so in on the journey instead of being stuck in headquarters like the previous movie. Maya Hawke as Anxiety does a great job. And the thing about Anxiety is, while I guess you can consider her to be the movie's antagonist, but she's not antagonistic. She's a character that has, as I said before, good intentions, but goes about it wrong. She cares about Riley, but she thinks you have to make all these changes. You have to get rid of the other emotions in order for Riley to be better, but she's going about it the wrong way. Another thing about this movie is the theme feels different. The previous movie was about Riley moving into a different setting and her relationship with her parents. And here it's about her going to camp with her two best friends, finding out that her two best friends aren't going to be joining her in high school. They're going to a different high school, and the pressure, and can she hold on to those friendships, and the pressure of making new friends, trying to impress the other girls who are a lot older, who are more experienced with hockey. So I like that the theme changes up in this movie as well. There are some of the cliches that you get, not just from the previous Inside Out movie, but other Pixar movies. The new characters coming in, feeling like they're replacing seeing the previous characters that were in. But it never feels stale, despite seeing some of those typical cliches. And there still feels like there is freshness to this new Inside Out adventure. I also say I feel like the introduction was better paced compared to the introduction of Inside Out, where it felt like it was a bit slow getting started. This one felt like it went quicker getting started. Overall, when it comes to Inside Out 2, to me, this movie hit the right emotions, had great voice acting, introduced great new characters, touched upon some great new themes, and is a movie that I think is going to connect with a lot of people, not just kids, but adults and even teenagers, because this movie is about Riley, in her teenage years, getting into that next stage of her life. And I think it's a movie that I think will also resonate well with teenage audiences, which I think is really smart and really good to do, because we always talk about child audiences and adult audiences, but what about the teen demographic? I think this is actually a good animated movie geared towards them as well. But yeah, as far as Inside Out 2 goes, um, it's one of the better Pixar sequels. There's Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, and then Inside Out 2. And I don't want to push it when it comes to Pixar sequels. I like original content. But watching this movie, I definitely would not mind an Inside Out 3, because similar to, as I said before, similar to the Toy Story movies, seeing the main human character growing up, and these characters, whether they be toys or emotions, that that the human character is not aware of being alive, but they care about the human character, and just seeing through their eyes how the human character that they care for is growing up. I really have enjoyed that concept. And if they do an Inside Out 3, that's probably the one sequel I wouldn't mind. I know they want to do Toy Story 4 in a couple of years, which I also don't mind, despite how Toy Story 4 ended. But yeah, overall, Inside Out 2 was a great animated movie with great characters, a great premise, and great themes. And I'm going to give Inside Out 2 an A. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a great Pixar movie, it's a great animated movie. And it's fun to watch Pixar movies on the big screen as well. I know for like from 2022 to 2020 to 2022, sorry, Pixar movies were coming out on Disney Plus, and it wasn't until Lightyear, that they're starting to come back out in theaters. So yeah, go support Inside Out 2. It's a great movie. We need to support great movies. And what are your thoughts on Inside Out 2? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what's one of your favorite Pixar sequels? Let me know in the comments down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe already. If you haven't, please share us with someone that likes the Inside Out movies. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.